Today I am Kim Dariel D. Baligid from BSIT3, and today I'm gonna discuss about the cryptography, the basics of cryptography like Caesar cipher and the encryption, then the decryption, and of course the other topics that you may learn from this video. So cryptography, let's start in cryptography. What is cryptography? It is a process or hiding of coding information so that only the person a message can intended for can read it. So cryptography has been used for thousands of years. Like until now it is being used in such a way like bank, e-commerce, then computer passwords and many more. It is a wide range of usability for the cryptography. That's why its usability is being used until now, and many people has taken advantage of it so that it grows. So let's deep digger to the process, which is the encryption. Encryption at its most basic level, it is the protecting of data or information by using a mathematical models to scramble the words or numbers. It is used to scramble the numbers for the parties who have the key can unscramble it. Is Caesar cipher. Caesar cipher is a simplest and oldest model of encryption technique that has been created by, of course, Julius Caesar. And Julius Caesar is known as the Roman general and statesman that ruled the Rome and become a former dictator. So the use of Caesar cipher for battles makes them really hard to read. The enemies the enemies didn't know what technique they are using, but Caesar used this technique for his comrades to use this and elaborate it, then understand it completely. It is really a genius way of making enemies confused for your tactics and battle IQ, something like that. So for the rules for the Caesar cipher, shift each letter of the alphabet by the shift value. For example, if the shift value is 3, A would become D, B would become E, and C would become F, and so on and so forth. Encrypt your message by replacing each letter with the corresponding shifted letter. So as we dissect the study, so here's the example of Caesar cipher. Since the shift is equals to 3, we move the 3 letters, which is A, B, C, here to letter D, since it is shift to 3. 1, 2, 3. And the alphabetical starts right here. Then here in the last part, you will write the XYZ in here. So A would become D, D would become E, and C would become F in the first paragraph that I say. And now we will getting an example. Of course, different example. So let's say hello. So in this one, we find it here, the letter H, which is letter K. Then the letter E, which is letter H. Letter L would become O. Then letter R would become U. No, my bad. Letter O would become R. So the encryption of our hello is this core. So in battle, Caesar cipher used this to manipulate the enemies and confuse them. So here's another one. Let's say clouds. So in this part, it's letter F, letter L is O, letter O is R, letter U is X, letter D is G, and the letter S is V, which is translated in this. So if we decrypt this, it will just turn back into original word, original format. So it is the encrypted message. And this is the decrypted. So in this case, it is another example. We shift it to 6 and we write the alphabetical order. Then here in this part, the A would start in G, and since we shift it to 6, U will become A, V would become B, W would become C, X would become D, Y would become E, and Z would become F. So here's an 5 example to encrypt this message. Like in the first one, Tanza would start in here. Since letter T is equals to Z, write it Z. Then letter A would become G. Then letter N would become T. Then letter Z would become F. And letter A would become G again. So it is easy, as you see, since Caesar cipher is the most simplest and basic methods of encryption. So here's another one, Dasmariñas. Letter D, J, and letter A would become G. So fast forward, here is the answers for a few examples that I give, and to briefly discuss it, we just simply look at this for us to encrypt the message in this example. So Dasmariñas would be encrypted as JGY SGXOTGY. Then Imus would become OSAY. Noveleta would become TUBYRYZG. Then Bacoor would become VGIUUX. So that's the answers in the encrypted message. So let's go ahead to decryption. It is a process that transforms encrypted information into its original format. The process of encryption transforms information from its original format, called plaintext, into an unreadable format called ciphertext while it is being shared or transmitted. And to end this informal way, I'd like to thank Sir Armand Tampos for teaching us the cryptography and the basics of it. And I hopefully use this teaching to my arsenal for me to become a gradually IT, which is that I will be using in cybersecurity. And for me to learn in this subject is very, very good in a way that I am beneficial. And why I chose this topic? I chose this topic because it is, for me, cryptography as my focus in this study to their pivotal role in the history of secure communication. The Caesar cipher is one of the earliest known encryption techniques that offers a fascinating glimpse into the ancient art of secret messaging. Exploring its principles and evolution provides a solid foundation for understanding the broader field of cryptography. which is increasingly relevant in our digitally connected world. Delving into these topics not only allows me to appreciate the historical context of encryption but also equips me with insights into the contemporary challenges and innovations in ensuring data security and privacy. And with that, thank you for listening. I am Kim Dariel D. Balingit from BSIT3 again.